So we are just a couple of days nearing Quakecon, and I decided to come up with a video, and this video is going to be about that. I want to talk about possible Doom Eternal future content announcements, like the DLCs and maybe some more stuff, because I feel like I want to make this video a bit longer than just focusing on Quakecon, because I don't really think there's much I can talk about Quakecon. So I'm going to add another section to it, and this section is going to tie in with Quakecon, but it will still be related to Doom Eternal's future content discussion. Alright, so let's get into it. Without a doubt, I'm at least 70% sure that we're going to get more information on the upcoming DLC for Eternal, and I'm hoping we get at least like a 2-minute trailer with a decent amount of gameplay and cutscenes to it. I also want to say that I was listening to one of the podcasts that the Doom Twitter page tweeted out, and I heard Hugo mentioned that they're working on a new mechanic for the upcoming DLC, and I think that's really cool. I honestly don't know what I want from a new mechanic in Eternal. I'm personally fine with all the stuff that we currently have in the main game, so I don't know what to expect. But if I can guess it out, I think they'll probably make Doom Guy have a grapple hook as a standalone mechanic, and maybe changed the Super Shotgun's secondary function to something else. It seems like a lot of games are jumping on this trend of wanting to implement a grappling hook mechanic, so that's pretty much my guess. And I guess, it's pretty realistic to, see Doom Eternal making that change. But, that's pretty much like the only official news I know about Eternal. And honestly, I think having like a 2-minute trailer and just some information about the upcoming DLC would be pretty much good enough to satisfy my interest for the DLC, really. So since that's really the only official news I know about the DLC for Eternal, I guess I can just put down some of the stuff I would like to personally see in Eternal's upcoming DLC. The first thing is, I think the map design needs to be more complex and not so linear. The more I play Eternal, I noticed the level layout don't feel as interesting compared to Doom 2016. I think the levels are more linear for sure. The only levels that don't feel so linear were Cultist Base, Super Gore Nest, and maybe Arc Complex. But those levels, they do feel more directed compared to Doom 2016's Foundry or Argent Facility maps. I just want more sense of exploration, more ways to let the player play however they want, and that is something I feel like Eternal should expand more upon from 2016. The next thing is, I do want the length to be somewhat decent. I don't expect this game to be as long as, Doom Eternal's main campaign, so I'm hoping at least 4 hours or maybe 6 hours at max of playtime, and that's me playing it slowly and trying to explore the map and all of that, because like I said, man, game length, it can really depend on people's play style, and to me, as long I get around 4 to 6 hours while playing how I usually play, I think I would be pretty content with it, really. And I also want this campaign to be fresh from the start. What I mean by that is, I literally want to start out with a shotgun, and basically you're looking for other weapons and upgrades as you play through the DLC. I don't want the DLC to be a continuation progress type of design, you're required to play through the, DLC after you complete the Icon of Sin from the main campaign. I think it'll be pretty lame if they force players to do that, and I like that sense of progression too of playing Doom Eternal's campaign, so I would definitely want a fresh start for the DLC. Last but not least, I personally want more ammo. The ammo thing has always been a nuisance to me in this game, and even though I've gotten used to it after playing it more, but I still want more ammo. It's just it's kind of tedious at times when you have to deal with it, especially in a game like this, and I know some people will argue it's to encourage players to use other weapons, but the fact that this is the only Doom game to annoy me the most when it comes to ammo management tells me something needs to be changed here. I just want a couple more rounds for the shotgun, the chain gun, and rocket launcher. That's all I'm really asking. So that was basically my take on Quakecon for Doom Eternal. I don't know if there will be any show stealer or big surprises at the show, but I do have a feeling there might be a Wolfenstein 3 announcement, and that'll definitely be cool to see. Honestly, I didn't really like Wolfenstein 2 that much compared to New Order and Old Blood, and that game really affected my decision to skip out on Youngblood, but I do hope Wolfenstein comes back to, you know, being just as good as the New Order era, because I really enjoyed those Wolfenstein games, and I do want another great game for this supposedly final game of the new Wolfenstein reboot series. Anyways, I want to talk about my personal suggestions for Doom Eternal's future content update. After playing Doom Eternal and more Snap Map co-op sessions, I personally want a co-op mode for Doom Eternal, specifically targeted for Battle Mode. I think Battle Mode is desperately on life support. I noticed id Software has been adding more Battle Mode challenges to encourage players to play it, and I think it's time to update, like, you know, a co-op function or survival mode for Battle Mode. Battle Mode really does feel like it can work for survival, since the maps feels reasonably designed for it, and there's also respawning enemies or respawning fodders, if I must say. But imagine, like, there's also a competitive element to it. Like, you'll get points for the longer you survive, the more enemies you kill, the killing sprees you get. You'll get points for all of, like, that type of stuff. But I do think id Software can still add the whole playable demon element to it by making the player getting killed, and that's where the player can become the demon and hunt down the other slayers. It's kind of like Halo's Infection meets Gears of War's Horde mode. Make it 3-player compatible, just like the vanilla Battle Mode, and I think it can totally work. It'll probably encourage players to play Battle Mode more. I really do want to like Battle Mode, but the more I play it, the more it just fails to capture my interest, really. And honestly, I have way more fun playing Snap Map, you know, in co-op a lot more than I do with Battle Mode. And even though Snap Map does have its problems in, you know, co-op from a technical standpoint, it's more rewarding and satisfying at the end of the day. I mean, just look at the gameplay video you're watching. Doesn't it look fun to have a co-op experience for Doom? I think it's time that new Doom gets an official co-op mode, and I know I'm not the only one who wants this feature. Anyways, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this topic. Thank you for watching, everyone, and if you have anything, you know, that you want to discuss in the comments, I'll, you know, be happily to respond to them if I have something to say.